Have you ever received a message from the dead? Has a deceased relative tried to communicate with you? Let me know in the comments below, because today we're looking at the top 10 terrifying signals sent from the afterlife. From spirits communicating with us in our dreams to demons tormenting us. Let's talk about this and more only in today's video. Starting off this countdown, we have the pain. Okay, this one is hella freaky, but a number of people have claimed that they felt a weird sensation either just before or after someone close to them has passed. Let's take psychiatrist Bernard Bateman's story for example. Apparently one day he experienced this weird strong feeling in his throat. It felt like he was choking. But later that day he learned that his father had choked to death on his own blood. The time that his dad died was the same time he felt this choking sensation himself. Isn't that crazy? It's freaky. In our 9th spot, we have the dreams. Has anyone here ever experienced night terrors before? If you have, you know how freaking scary they are and how real they feel. Well, it's said that spirits will try to communicate with you through your dreams. Malicious spirits or demonic entities, they will torment you through your dreams. Either you will have a horrifying reoccurring dream, or there will be reoccurring themes like death, murder, you name it. Or the demons will play into your biggest fears. Let's say you're deathly afraid of spiders and snakes. They'll manipulate your dreams so that's what you're dreaming about. Or even worse, the demon itself will appear to you in your dream being like, I'm coming for you. This has happened in real life to a number of people. Sadly, most of these victims develop insomnia because they're too afraid to sleep. Others have taken their lives because they just can't take it anymore. Moving on to number 8, we have the messages. Imagine receiving a text message, email, or phone call from a deceased friend or relative. Well, a number of people have claimed that this has happened to them. The first story involves a woman named Mary, whose mother died of cancer a couple of years ago. Months later, on Mary's birthday, she received a message on her phone from her mom. When she opened it up, it was a voice note. The voice note was a recording of her mom singing happy birthday. But here's the thing, her mom's phone was deactivated, so how on earth was this message sent? Also, her mom was dead, so how did she send a voice message? Another freaky story comes from a man named Tim. Tim claims that his deceased wife was communicating to him through phone calls. Almost every night, Tim would get a call around 9:05, the time that his wife passed away. When he answers the phone, all he hears is silence, but he knows that this is from his wife. The phone call lasts a minute until the clock changes to 9:06. I mean, in a way it's sweet, but also it's just really creepy. Coming in at number 7, we have the wild animals. Getting a surprise visit from some furry animals can be quite cool, as long as it's like friendly animals like bunnies or rabbits, even deer. Maybe though, every time you talk about your deceased loved one, you notice a bunny hopping in your yard. This could be a sign that your loved one is near, or maybe their spirit is now in that bunny. It's a bad sign, however, if dead animals appear around your house, like dead crows, bunnies, or cats on your doorstep, etc. That's a bad sign. Even dead parts of an animal. In some cases it could be stray cats or foxes leaving these. Or it could be an evil spirit. Or it's an omen, someone sending you a sign that something bad is going to happen to you. In our 6th spot, we have the odd coincidences. Have you ever been going on about your day when you notice some weird patterns or coincidences happening to you? For example, maybe you've been thinking of your deceased grandmother when all of a sudden you get a whiff of her favorite perfume. Then later that day you decide to go buy that perfume and the clerk cashing you out has the same name as your grandmother. That's a sign that she's there with you. But not all coincidences are as pleasant as this one. One guy shared his freaky story with this. So he claims that when he was younger, he almost died after falling into the subway train tracks, but a man in a trench coat ended up saving his life. His name was Edward S. Years later, the boy, now a man, moves into a new house. While exploring the attic, he discovers that it was previously owned by Edward S. But sadly, he passed away after falling down a flight of stairs in the basement. As soon as he learned that his savior lived in the house that he just bought, he started having dreams and visions about him. One of the visions involved seeing Edward getting pushed down the stairs by his neighbor. Immediately, the man was like, okay, I think Edward was murdered by his neighbor. And guess what? In the end, he was right. Edward was sending him signals from the afterlife. It's just crazy how they kind of both saved each other in a way. We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with the flickering lights. Next time you're walking home in the middle of the night and the street lights above you start to flicker, maybe take that as a sign to run the hell home. Because because spirits have the power to manipulate electricity. They can send signals by flicking lights on and off. So maybe a flickering street light is a sign that you're not alone on that dark, sketchy street. In fact, one woman claimed that she had a conversation with a spirit that was haunting her house through the flickering of a light bulb. She told the spirit to flicker the light once for yes and twice for no, and through that she was able to talk to the spirit. Moving on to number 4, we have the feathers. Now I learned this years ago from my friend's mom and it's always stuck with me ever since. Apparently, feathers are a sign that a spirit is there with you. So if you find a white feather in a spot where it makes no sense to be, then it's a sign that someone is there watching over you. But let's say you find one on the floor next to your down feathered jacket. Well, obviously the feather fell out of your jacket, so that doesn't count. That's why it said it has to be in a place where it doesn't make sense to be. Here's the thing though, if you see a black feather, then that's bad. That means that a demon or evil entity is around you. In particular, you should be scared if you find a black feather sticking directly up from the ground by your house. In this case, do not touch the feather and go get yourself cleansed. Coming in at number 3, we have the manipulation of electronics. Like I said before, spirits have the power to manipulate electricity. They also have the power to manipulate certain electrical devices like TVs and radios, and sometimes even battery-powered toys. There are 2 main stories that I want to talk about today. One involves a cursed Elmo doll. One year, a family got an Elmo doll for Christmas, and a spirit clearly took a liking for that red hugging doll because during the middle of the night, it would speak as if someone pressed it. The doll would all be like, ha ha ha, that tickles, you know? The family decided to take out the batteries, and guess what? The doll would still chuckle and laugh. Dude, I tossed that Elmo out the window so fast. Another family had a similar experience, but this time with a battery-powered train. On a number of occasions, they caught the train moving around their house on its own. Clearly, the ghost was a fan of Thomas and Friends. In our second spot, we have the stank smells. If you've seen the Conjuring movies, then chances are you already know about this point. But it's said that evil spirits or demons can be identified with bad smells like sulfur or rotten eggs. If the smell comes out of nowhere then leaves out of nowhere, either someone tooted or a demon was just in your presence. Let's take a look at the Perron family, the family that the first Conjuring movie was based off of. According to the family, their house would smell like rotting flesh. First of all, how did they even know what rotting flesh smelled like in the first place? Anyway, when Lorraine Warren got a whiff of it, she knew that they were being haunted. And when the smell was coming from Carolyn Perron herself, Lorraine knew she was possessed by a demon. And in our number 1 spot today, we have the paranormal activity. A clear sign that someone is with you from the afterlife is if spooky stuff happens around you. Like objects moving on its own, you feel someone's presence by you, you hear voices, doors slam on their own, etc. Now, if this happens frequently and at a certain time, then the spirit might be trying to tell you something. For example, let's go back to the Perron family haunting case again. Every morning at 5:15 they would wake up to their bed shaking. Every morning, always at that time. Another example would be the story of Grace. A woman named Grace moved into a home. Every night at 12:43 she would hear loud banging noises and sometimes screaming. Well, back in the day, the owner of the house was killed in her sleep at 12:43 at night. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Let me know in the comments below which one of these messages creeped you out the most. Also, do you have any paranormal, scary experiences? Let me know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, let's move on to our comment shoutout portion. I'll be shouting out comments from the video, top 10 real people scarier than Michael Myers. Table Tennis Ruby Suet commented, I don't think none of these people are scarier than Michael Myers. So Michael Myers is scary, but also he's a fictional character. These people are murderers in real life. So I would say that anyone who murdered anyone is scarier than fictional Michael Myers. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Lord Ball OLC commented Dr. H.H. Holmes, Albert Fish, Dahmer, the Zodiac Killer, Richard Ramirez. So I'm pretty sure that they wanted me to include that on the list. The thing is that I have talked about each of these people, maybe not Albert Fish, but I've talked about everyone else like a bunch of times and everyone's like, make new content, find new people, and I find new people and people are like, no, these people need to be on the list. But then when those people are on their list, they're like, oh, they're repeating themselves. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? And Jose Garcia commented, chicken nuggets. I love chicken nuggets. They're so good. I haven't had it in so long. Chicken nuggets with macaroni and cheese? I don't know why, it's just so good. The combination, I feel like a little kid, but oh my god, no, I'm sorry guys, we're gonna talk about those dino nuggets. So good. I don't know why dinosaur shaped nuggets taste better, but they do. And those little smiley face potatoes, those are so good. I want some right now. Alright guys, that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see ya when I see ya.